Where is your robe, Ignacio?
It was stinky, but these are my recreation clothes.
They look expensive.
Thank you. I mean, yes, they may have the appearance of riches, but beneath the clothes, we find a man. And beneath the man, we find his nucleus.
Nucleus?
Yes.
A select from Nacho Libre. Yeah. Find his nucleus. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Hand Me Down Podcast. We are your hosts. My name's Natalia.
And I'm Alan.
And as always, thank you so much for joining us for yet another episode. This one's going to be a lot of fun. I feel like we're going to talk about a little silly, goofy movie.
I know. I feel like the movies we've talked about recently have been like really good, but just like heavy topics. Now we're just going to goof and laugh and have fun. This is a movie I feel like everybody has seen. So.
Yes. And if you haven't seen it, it's free on YouTube currently.
That's how I watched it. Yeah.
So definitely go check it out. But the movie that we're going to talk about today is Nacho Libre.
Woo! Okay, actually, well, let's break down the episode real quick. I feel like we have so much to say. But yes, we're going to talk about Nacho Libre. Yes. But as always, we're going to catch up. How are we? We're going to do Internet Corner. And then we are going to go into Nacho Libre and talk about that. But one of the things that we have to announce is that the little thing that we used to record our podcast, you can do for sound effects.
Yes.
And our lovely associate producer, Milena, put random ones. We usually know what they are, but now they're going to be random. So throughout the episode, we're just going to go ahead and hit one of them and it'll surprise all of us. So.
And if we see later down the episode that something happens that calls for that same sound effect, we have to remember to hit it again. So be on the lookout, or not lookout, listen out here for that to come along. And we're super excited because we don't know, we have no idea what the sound effects are.
And they're only going to get better with time. Like these were the ones that were built in, but later we're going to put like random ones like TikTok sounds and stuff like that. So it'll be fun. But the reason why I said that is because you said, like, yay, we're going to watch Nacho Libre. So I was like, that was like the perfect opportunity to hit one of these buttons.
Oh, shit.
So if we want to recreate that again.
Okay, ready? Yeah. And today we're going to get into a fun little movie called Nacho Libre. Yay!
Let's hit one of the buttons. Which one do you want to hit?
A. Ready?
Well, that's not what we were hoping for. We were hoping for a yay, but that's part of the magic.
Okay, so now we know the A button does that.
I feel like that will be useful.
It will.
I feel like it will in this episode, but
okay. So we have revealed one mystery mouse tool. Now we have 3 more. But anyway, so this is gonna be exciting.
You'll see how it'll work more into the episode. We can get into the rest of the episode. How are you, Natalia?
I'm good. I feel like for catch up, we saw each other this weekend, but I think that's your catch up, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, you can use it too.
We share.
Yeah, we both did this thing.
But over the weekend, we saw our buddies, our college friends. We celebrated 2 of our friends' birthdays over the weekend. We went to a park, and then we went to the Boiling Crab. I can say that right.
Not sponsored, but yes.
And it was just really fun to see each other again because, like, you know, when you're not in college anymore, you don't see people as often, and it's really hard to like make plans and get people's schedules to align. So it was really nice to spend a really large portion of the day with them. Yeah,
it was the plans finally made it out of the group chat, and they were literally just to go to the park and get dinner.
Yeah,
but no, it was fun. It was like a drastic change because I was like, we celebrated the birthday at the park. And we got cupcakes, and it was very wholesome. We played games, and I was like, "This is very different how we would celebrate a birthday when we were in college.
Let's black out.
The festivities would not start until like 9 p.m.
Yeah.
10 p.m.
This was a 1 p.m. outing. We were just like, we were eating carrots at the park.
Healthy snacks.
Fueling our body.
It was really fun though. So it was nice.
Yeah. But then that one old lady, do you remember her? Yeah.
We decorated very nice. My girlfriend and I went to Dollar Tree and we got like this, what's it called? The mantel, the table cover.
Yeah.
And the streamers, there we go. And we decorated very nice and we got them balloons, like helium balloons, and then.
Yeah, and then so like it may have looked a little childish or whatever, but it's like fun. Like it looked fun. I think that's what it was. It looked fun, and a lot of people equate fun to like childlike or like stuff like that. And so we were at a public park, and so this like old lady walks behind us, and then she like leans in and she's just like, "So this isn't for a children's birthday party?" We were just kind of like, "No," like we were just like, "Haha, no." And she was just like, "Oh, it's for somebody who thinks they're a child." And we were like, "What the fuck?"
She was in her fucking walker and shit. I was like, "Ma'am."
It's like, you better chill a little bit, Grandma. You better chill a little bit, Mima.
My words are fire. Natalia was about to like roast her.
I was about to roast her unknowingly. I think like I was about to just have like a response that didn't, to me, when I thought about it, didn't come across as rude. But like had I said it, it definitely would have come across as rude. So I didn't say it. But no, I was just like, dang, we're just having a grand good time. She was just like, "You're a little kid." And I was like,
just like putting effort into it, like just decorating a little bit, even if it is at the park, you know, like I don't know, but yeah.
So if she's watching this, imagine
her demographics all the way will tell me that she does not watch this.
Are you sure? Meet me at the same park, 3:00
after school.
After school.
Beatdown of a lifetime.
Just kidding, guys. We don't.
Beatdown of a lifetime. That's a good.
Beatdown of a lifetime.
What Disney Channel ass outro was that? The record scratch.
Lady, we're coming for you. We're gonna do it one more time. Oh my god, we're having too much fun with that. Okay.
Anyways, besides that, anything else?
I have, so when we were hanging out with our friends, I brought my camera and we were taking a lot of pictures, and it was really cute and really fun. And so I've been wanting to take pictures more, like not mostly to practice, like taking photography, because over the summer, like I got a few paid photography gigs and stuff like that. So I wanted to practice more. However, bringing my big girl camera around to places is like, I feel like a lot is on the line. Like I feel like there's a potential to break it or lose it.
It's not a small camera either. I mean, it's not a big camera, but it's not like a...
Yeah, it's not like a little pocketable camera, and it's heavy too. So like after I shoot for a whole day with it, my wrists are screaming. But I just kind of also want to take more pictures of the homies. Like I feel like that's also one of my New Year's resolutions. And so there's this big wave going on right now of people bringing back digital cameras, like the little pocket point and shoot cameras, because of like the retro look that they give, or like the early 2000s
Y2K.
look. Yeah, like the Y2K look. And I'm like, that's kind of slay. Like I've been just scrolling the internet and looking for some, or like doing research on some, and part of me doesn't want to buy one because right now people know that there's a market for that, so they bumped up the prices like crazy for those like shitty, they're not shitty cameras, but like
I think you're good with yours. Yours are, the pictures you took were really good.
I just don't want to lose it or like have it get stolen. Or
okay. Well, I feel like we're kind of on the same page, because I also want to take more pictures of the homies and like take my camera everywhere, because I have cameras, I just don't take them anyway. For the same reason. It's like I don't want to lose it or to damage it or anything. So mine, I won the film camera, so that's what I'm using. I literally ordered film yesterday for it, so that I can start using it, because I feel like that's perfect. literally fits in my pocket.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, because I also was debating, like, should I get into, like, at least point and shoot film?
Yeah.
I just don't have the finances for it right now,
Fair.
but it just seems so fun to, like, do it. But
talking about buying a whole ass other camera, I don't have the finances.
No, but like digicams would be like, if I would buy one, it would be less than $20.
I see.
Like I don't like if it's priced at like 30 higher. I'm like, do you understand the specs that you're selling right now? Like, dude.
Yeah, I have one, low-key.
Bring it.
Yeah, it's a Canon something.
Oh, you do? Milena has a digicam. Hey. Oh wait, you choose one.
I didn't think it was that funny, guys. I don't know why everybody's laughing.
We already got through.
That'd be so cute, though. Like, not just us having it, but everybody, or most of the people in the friend group having one, I think would be cool. Because I feel like one of the things about being the photographer is like, you never get pictures of yourself. So then everybody takes pictures.
Everybody takes pictures.
That'd be fun. We should have a picture party.
Picture party. A pee-pee.
Doble P, peso pluma.
Doble P.
That's good. But yeah, I feel like those types of pictures should come back. Like, not to sound like I hate my phone or like your phone is ruining your life, but like those pictures aren't, I think, as treasured as like ones taken digitally or like with film, because those, like with your phone you can take a quote unquote infinite amount of pictures, but with like a physical camera, it's like you're more conscious of what you shoot and what you want to remember. So
yeah, I feel like having a designated like camera, like literally a little device to capture memories, makes it like that much more.
And I feel like you're more likely to go back and look at them than like you're just being on your phone. So
yeah. So I love a good digicam. I think we have one at my house. I might hit up my mom. Mom, if you're watching this, send one my way. But yeah, so that's kind of what I've been doing is literally just scrolling the internet, looking at different digital cameras.
Nice. Yeah. Oh
yeah.
I have been good. I have two things. One of them is that I took a picture with Snoop Dogg this weekend. Natalia was there. I can't believe she didn't mention it.
Yeah, with the DOGG.
It was a cardboard cutout. We went to go get soju somewhere, and there was a cardboard cutout of Snoop Dogg, and I had to take a picture.
And they made him short.
Yeah, he wasn't that short. The Kevin Hart one was short. There was a Kevin Hart cutout, and he was short. Apparently, it was life size. And I was like, damn. No. Like literally, we looked up his height and he's 5'5". But yeah, I took a picture with Snoop Dogg. Not to brag. Another thing that I was thinking about today, I was cooking and I was listening to an album. And it just brought me back to when my mom would clean or cook. There's certain albums, certain artists that she goes through. What will be your album that your kids associate with you in the future?
For cleaning or cooking?
Yeah, any. Or unless you plan to have specific things.
Let me see. I feel like for a cookout, because my family plays a lot of music when we have cookouts and stuff, Renaissance.
Renaissance at the cookout.
At the cookout, we're going to turn on that girl and it's just going to be like, I'm that girl. That'll be my album for cookout. For cleaning, I need a little more time to think. But do you have yours?
Yes, I feel like the answer for all of them is going to be Un Verano Sin Ti by Bad Bunny. Whenever I listen to that album, it brings me back to joyous times. And I feel like if there's something that I don't want to do or something that I'm dreading, I put on that album because it just makes me feel a lot better and like makes the activity a lot better. So I feel like it would be my cleaning album. So when the kids hear when the kids hear those seagulls, they're gonna know it's time to clean.
They're like, no.
And then they're gonna appreciate it when they go to college.
That's true. The whole cycle starts again. Oh my god! Volcano by Jungle, guys. I was gonna say it, but I was like, take me away.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I feel like that would be a good like cleaning album.
They'll clean hella fast.
Yeah, but I think that's an interesting question. It's a question that I want to know from you guys. Comment down below. What would be your cleaning album if you guys had kids? Also TikTok. Hopefully this can be a clip. What's yours? Yeah. Moving on.
Yeah.
To Internet Corner. Natalia, do you have anything for Internet Corner?
I feel like because like as I said in my check-in, literally all I've been doing on the internet is looking at cameras, like watching cameras.
Do you do that on TikTok?
I
feel like TikTok is a good place to do like short, you know.
I don't know why I didn't think of that. I have been doing YouTube and YouTube Shorts. So like short form content on YouTube, Facebook Marketplace. Stuff
do
like
you
that.
use TikTok as a search engine?
For other things, I feel like for food recipes, recommendations for locations and stuff like that.
My girlfriend, Sunday, she uses it for everything.
Really?
Like Google. But I feel like you get a lot better responses, more relevant responses. I feel like whenever I Google something, it's so old. Like
you have to add Reddit.
I see. That's fair.
To get it accurate, to get the truth.
But yeah, I've started to use TikTok a lot more as like a search engine. And
yeah, but I feel like TikTok lately has just been TikTok Shop. And that's why I'm like, dude, it's like pissing. Like TikTok Shop is so crazy right now. I feel like for small creators, it's harder now to like try to promote your content on TikTok unless you're trying to make a buck out of it.
I feel like I haven't seen it in a while.
Really?
Because I heard that it was like that creators were starting to see growth again because TikTok Shop was like kind of like a failure. So it's interesting that you're still getting it or like maybe getting that wave again.
Yeah, like it's just like every other video on my For You page is like, it's like funny video, informational video, buy this thing, TikTok Shop, blah, blah, blah. Like,
maybe I just don't notice it. Maybe because maybe they're just ads and I'm just like, as soon as he's sponsored, scroll. Like I don't even give it the time of day, so I don't even get time to like see TikTok Shop or anything. I just scroll.
Like as soon as I say eligible for commission, I'm like, dude.
I see.
Like, so I feel like it's just getting in the way of smaller creators, I think, for like pushing the content out because TikTok is just so focused on, you know, being like a business or something. But anyways, so I bought something off the TikTok.
Did you? No.
No.
Really? Did you actually? Did you? What'd you buy?
I bought a cream. No shit.
Natalia, that's gonna give you. It's gonna burn you.
I wanted to see. They gave me a coupon. It works.
No.
I'll return it.
I kind of want to use our last one. I want to see what it is.
Okay.
A beautiful noise, a beautiful sound, beautiful song, but not really what I wanted. So I'll use the boom boom boom. What?
Dude, they got me.
Was it free?
It was like almost free. It was like basically free.
Like $1.
It was like $1 something.
Yeah.
So I was just like, but then that made me skeptical. I was like, that's probably like a reason why I would like not use it.
Yeah.
But my dumbass fell for it.
What was it?
It was just like the, you know, strawberry skin. It's like bumpies like on your arm. And I have them.
It's just like a... Fuck, I don't know.
It's like texture on your skin.
Yeah.
But it's like...
No, but like the cream.
Oh, the cream, yeah.
Does the cream also have texture, kind of like a body scrub?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't gotten it yet.
Because I feel like I had something like that too. And then I got this thing, but like at Target. And I got rid of it, but...
Well, we'll see, guys. You'll hear from me firsthand if my arm comes
scared,
off. If my arm comes off. Dude, imagine.
Well, you heard it here first, guys. Natalia hates TikTok Shop.
But I fell for it, bro. And that's why I hate it. That's why I hate it, because I did Apple Pay and I did a little tick tick.
So fast.
That easy, dude. Oh my
Damn.
God.
Well, Internet Corner. Just kidding. I have a couple more things. I want to talk about the bikini bottom fish, the breaking news fish.
Breaking news.
First, when it first started, it was just one creator, and they were actually giving you breaking news. I found out a lot of news from this fish. which is weird to think about. Like, I was just thinking about how dystopian it is that people get their news this way, from a fish, from a throwaway joke in a SpongeBob cartoon. But anyways, if you guys don't know what this bikini bottom fish is, it's the fish from SpongeBob, like the news anchor. And they use AI to generate its voice, and they kind of just write a script about something that's happening, like, oh, Biden just won the 2020 election. This. And then they make the fish say it, and they just edit the fish, and it's telling you breaking news of real life. But lately, this fucking fish is just saying stupid ass shit or just irrelevant shit. Like, this is not breaking news. Where are your journalistic integrities, fish? Please. I linked one here. I don't remember what breaking news this is. Oh yeah, he was just talking about how 2024 is going to be the worst year ever, according to someone who predicts shit. And I'm like, first of all, this is just fear mongering. And sometimes the fish does that. It's scientists say that there's a 30% chance this is going to happen in the next year. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. I guess it's good for engagement, but this isn't what you should be, fish. I'm disappointed in you.
Look at his little tie. Look at his little suit and tie.
Yeah.
Thinking he knows shit. He doesn't.
He does not know shit. And I think it's just it's so dangerous because also just people who don't fact check stuff, they just take the fish for its word, and it's so Black Mirror-ish that I have to say that this fish is giving us news,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dang. That's great. I mean, my dad always says that there is people getting news, that there's good things and bad things from people getting news from news sources or from the internet and shit like that. And I'm just I don't know what to believe anymore. I'm such a gullible bitch. I bought something from the Tik Tok Shop.
You're the fish's target audience.
No, because when the world was going to end in 2012,
yeah.
Supposedly, guess whose bitch ass was crying?
I was also so scared. I was so scared. I was and then 2012 came out, and I was fuck,
dude.
They're trying to tell us something.
I'm only 11.
I was yeah, I didn't even get to enjoy life, man. And then, I remember it was the day of, and my tío invited us to Best Buy, and I was I guess if I'm gonna die, I'll go out in a Best Buy. And I went to Best Buy, and then my parents came back, and I was so the world hasn't ended, and they're like, no, there was just a really pretty sunset, and I was fuck, I missed it. I was at Best Buy.
You're I was trying to take my final breath near the Nintendo station.
Get a sniff of the Wii.
One last time. Play Just Dance one last time.
Yeah, that's my 2012 story.
Damn. Well, we survived. Here we are, 2024. We made it. Moving on.
12 years later. Shut the fuck up.
Hey, you better shut up, dude.
What the fuck?
Oh, yeah. Sound effect. I forgot which ones.
Me too. But that's my rant about the little fish. How we got to 2012, I don't know.
And we're 25 minutes in.
One last thing before we get into Nacho. Did you see the America Ferrera speech?
I did.
You did?
I did.
Okay, well, I'm going to play a little kind of snippet of it. For our audio listeners, and if you haven't seen it, if you're a listener, I'm going to play a little bit of it, and then we are going to discuss it because I think it was a very impactful speech. So yeah.
I started working over 20 years ago. That seems impossible, I know, but it seemed impossible that anyone could make a career portraying fully dimensional Latina characters. But because of writers, directors, producers, and executives who were daring enough to rewrite outdated stories and to challenge deeply entrenched biases, I and some of my beloved Latina colleagues I've been supremely blessed to bring to life some fierce and fantastic women. To me, this is the best and highest use of storytelling, to affirm one another's full humanity, to uphold the truth that we are all worthy of being seen. Black, brown, indigenous, Asian, trans, disabled, any body type, any gender, we are all worthy of having our lives richly and authentically reflected.
She was clapping hard at the end there.
That girl was hella clapping.
But what did you think of it? Friend of the show.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show.
America, first name basis.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, we have a whole episode on one of her first movies, Real Women Have Curves.
Exactly.
Episode 8. Check it out.
Friend of the show. I really liked this speech. I think it gave me goosebumps, especially like towards the end of the speech, because that was like a snippet of it.
Yeah,
right?
it was just a snippet, like a...
Yeah, the whole speech, I was like, I was really moved. I was moved when she, like, not only did she speak about like underrepresented people such as like Latina women, but she also like talks about like women, or like the success of Barbie being like a quote unquote like catered to women and like female stories and stuff like that. And I was just like, damn girl, tell it. Tell it like it is. But there's a quote in there when she says to affirm one another's full humanity. I'm like, girl, hell yeah.
I think that's just so beautifully said. Like, affirm that you are not alone in looking this way and feeling this way and having these things happen in your life. And she really is a pioneer for those types of stories. I believe.
Definitely.
A huge pioneer.
Like, dude, she said she's been doing this for like 20 years. I'm like, and she's so young still. I'm like, damn, dude, like she's really been in the game for a really long time.
Yeah. So
it was really great to see her like get this recognition and like have her moment on stage and using her moment to like speak about things like this and like her career path and people who had similar career paths to her. But she is truly trailblazing and groundbreaking, I think, actress.
I think these are the types of speeches that you should give, or not that you should have to do anything, but like, I think these messages will hit the right people and, encourage them to keep on going. And, even people who are not in the industry, just like feeling proud of this representation. Yeah.
Cause I feel like movies, TV shows, such a huge part of society and culture that it's like, you don't have to be a film nerd to like relate and to like enjoy watching these things. So for her to like give this speech was just like really powerful. But yeah,
agreed.
Great speech.
Go off. Go off. Go off.
Go off.
But with that, I think we rounded out Internet Corner. Congrats to us. Yeah. It's a laugh, bruh.
So silly.
Now, before we go ahead and move on to Nacho, let's go ahead and do a little bit of housekeeping.
Yes.
Good housekeeping. If you are listening on a podcast platform, go ahead and give us a rating and a review. It will help us out a lot, and we appreciate it so much if you have already done it. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and give us a like, comment, and subscribe. Again, that also helps us out a lot, and we really appreciate it. We have been seeing great conversations happening in the comments, so yeah, go off. Awesome.
Go off.
And if you don't do any of that, you can follow us on social media at Hand Me Down Pod, where you can watch the best clips. If you miss an episode, that's fine, because we post all the best moments on our social media. So fret not, at Hand Me Down Pod on Instagram and TikTok. Also, we have a Discord, which some people finally joined.
Yeah.
So you guys get cool insight. You might get behind the scene pictures of filming and stuff. So it's great. You guys can also maybe pitch ideas to us of what you guys want us to talk about. So go ahead and join the Discord. It'll be a lot of fun. So yeah, and with that, thank you guys for listening, and let's go into the rest of the episode.
Woo, Nacho.
So, Natalia, we want to do this new segment kind of called like a Latino film retrospective or something like that. Something along those lines, where kind of the basic concept of this segment is, does blank movie, does blank TV show hold up now? So it's kind of revisiting TV shows or shows, Latino, maybe not, and seeing whether or not they hold up.
Yeah. Through
our new, quote unquote, new eyes that we know a little bit more about filmmaking.
Yes.
So we thought no better way to start this segment off than with the movie
Nacho Libre, Nacho. Hell yeah.
Why were you thinking about it? Because we both thought about this to be the first one.
Yeah, I think because like when you pitched this segment, we had pitched it with Latino movies in mind, or like characters and stuff like that. And Nacho Libre was the first thing that came to my mind, because I had not watched it since I was little. So it's been a minute since I had watched it. And 2, I remember it being something that everybody loved.
Yeah.
Everybody still loves, in quotes. With that being said, I guess we should like give I don't know if it's like a disclaimer, but it's like, we understand it's a comedy. I feel like, so like, don't be booty tickled and be all like, oh, like people like overanalyze these things. They can't just ignore, enjoy things. I feel like, understand that this is a space in a podcast where we will have conversations like that. But I feel like if you're listening to our podcast anyway, you are aware of that. Yeah. But just in case is like your first episode or like blah blah, because like I don't know how the clips are gonna do online. I feel like a lot of people have things to say about those kinds of conversations.
But I think you have both things at once, where you can analyze something and have these deep conversations and still appreciate something, or still really enjoy it as the thing that it is. So
that's what we're gonna do with this. It's still, I mean, we'll give like our little like review on it, how we viewed it when we were a kid, how we view it now. Talk about some things that maybe weren't really highlighted in the media.
And want to give a spoiler warning, but I mean, you probably have seen it, and if you haven't, go watch it. It's free on YouTube. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Okay. So with that being said, should we break down the plot?
Yeah, you can.
All right, cool. So the plot is about Ignacio, also known as Nacho, who is a Mexican friar who dreams of becoming a loved and cherished luchador in the ring. Fueled by his desire of riches for himself and for the orphans he cooks for at the monastery, Nacho goes undercover along with his wrestling partner, Esqueleto, to fulfill his lucha libre dreams. And also to provide for the orphanage. What is a friar? That's what they said in the movie. My only other knowledge of Friar is Friar Lawrence in Romeo and Juliet. That motherfucker that made them die.
Again.
But is it not
like a priest, right?
Is it like a man nun? So Nacho is
a friar?
He's a friar, which means that he took like the priest vows without actually being a priest. He lives in the church, dedicated his life to God. There we go.
And upon doing like a little bit of research into the making of this movie, I learned that it's like very loosely based on a real person, and I was like, that's kind of cool. Or just like I don't know if he was a friar, but something very similar by day, and then a luchador by night.
Because I looked it up too. I believe he used to be a drug addict, and then he found Christ, and I believe he actually became a priest. And yeah, he used wrestling, lucha libre, as a way to fund his orphanage.
Sick.
Yeah.
Damn, that's lit. But alas, it was made into a comedy, a Nickelodeon movie. So let's get into it.
Yeah, let's get into our first impressions. Natalia, would you like to go first? What were your first impressions of this movie as a child?
As a child, I remember really liking it. I remember it was mostly memorable for me because my cousins would quote it a lot. And their favorite quote that literally is, I think about all the time, actually, is the anaconda squeeze.
Anaconda squeeze. Because me and my cousins would do that shit too. Because like we would also like fake wrestle and shit, or like fight, and then we'd always go anaconda squeeze.
on the trampoline or in the jumpers.
And the jumpers. Yeah.
And I got the squeeze. So, oh my God, such a quotable movie. That one, my mom's all-time favorite is Chancho. Sometimes when you are a man, you wear stretchy pants.
Why is that your mom's favorite?
Because she just loves the concept of like him wearing stretchy pants alone in his room. That's her favorite one. And so she always goes, stretchy pants. That's my mom's favorite quote. But I feel like it's just such a quotable script.
Yeah.
So of course, like as a child, I mean, this movie's also filled with so many fart jokes and like that kind of humor. So I feel like right up my alley. But one thing that I don't remember ever seeing was the ending.
Really?
I feel like I had only watched until they wrestle, what do they call the Satans, whatever, like the two small ones.
Yeah.
Like that's the last thing I remember, at least for me.
Damn.
So I had never
That's
seen
recent.
the
That's like their first fight.
Really?
Or one of their first fights.
That wasn't the midpoint?
I believe it was before the midpoint. Because I had the complete opposite. I've definitely watched this movie a lot of times and I've watched it all the way through, but the moments that really stand out, I feel like, are in the second half of the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because that's why I keep singing. I kept singing the Encarnacion because I hadn't like seen it.
You hadn't seen that?
And like,
or Little Hug, Big Kiss.
Okay, that I saw as a meme.
I see.
So
Okay,
so that
fair.
hug, kiss, little hug, big kiss, little kiss.
It's just so funny. And I guess we'll get into it a little bit after. Because I feel like we can appreciate a lot of the things more when we talk about the impressions after the rewatch. But my childhood impressions, you talked about your mom really liking that quote. Everyone in my family loves Nacho Libre. Like it really was a movie that like you watch with your parents and they also enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So my dad loves it. My dad, he had a mustache and he looked like Jack Black in this movie. Like he reminds me so much of him. In looks wise, and I just think it's so funny. But yeah, great movie. I really loved it as a kid. I thought it was hilarious. Yeah, very very quotable and just
Fart jokes never get old.
So you hadn't watched it since you were a kid, so this was your first rewatch. In a long time. I feel like I've seen it multiple times.
Really?
Yeah, like I saw it as a kid and I just really liked it. So sometimes when they would put it on Netflix, I would watch it. But like not really pay attention, just like have it in the background. And then recently, maybe like a month ago, my dad had it on and I watched the end of it. And I was just dying. I was like laughing. But yes, do we want to get into the impressions after the rewatch? One of the things that I want to say about it is that when I took my screenwriting class at UCLA, the professor said, just because you have one good idea for a script doesn't mean they're all going to be good. You have to put in the same amount of effort into each script. She's all like the guy who wrote and directed Napoleon Dynamite. Fantastic script, fantastic movie, won all the awards. And you know what was his second film? And I was like, what was his second film? And she was like, Nacho Libre. But she said it in a way like very judgy. And I was like, how dare you? That movie is a cinematic masterpiece. How dare you talk about it like that? How dare you?
She really upset the fart jokes community, bro. How dare she?
No, because that movie is so quotable.
It is.
Like all these like little quotes, and some of them are just like, I don't know. I think it takes like talent to write stuff like that. That's something that's quotable like that.
Yeah, I feel like it's just so iconic still, and I feel like, well, I haven't seen Napoleon Dynamite. Have I?
Yes, you have.
You're lying. With you?
I don't know if it was with me, but you did a whole intro.
Well, I'd only seen the intro because
really?
Because you showed it to me.
Oh, well, she hasn't seen Napoleon.
Me when I lie. Me when I get away with things. Me when I get a gig.
I thought you had seen it. No. Interesting. Well, you should watch that one too.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I was going to say is that I think the styles are very similar.
Between Napoleon Dynamite
in terms of like kind of the humor. I feel like the director Jared has a very distinct style. So
I feel like I would enjoy it. I just never like got around to it or anything like that.
Speaking of the quotes, one of them, I just want to say it real quick that I was like, well, whoa. Nacho says, I am the gatekeeper of my own destiny, and I will have my glory day in the hot sun. What a banger,
Chess
dude.
Piece, bro. Chess piece. I'm going to just unzip. Guys, so I actually got some new ink done yesterday.
I was like, that's so funny.
Dude, that should have been my senior quote.
That would have been a good senior quote. Oh my God. When you're at Latinx grad. that's on the jump screen.
Wait, what was my Latinx grad quote? It was something ridiculously stupid.
I don't remember, but I do remember you being like,
dude,
it was like slay or something like that.
It was so stupid because, okay, very quick side tangent. For UCLA, they have something called Latinx grad, which is a ceremony for all the Latino students. And it's like very meaningful ceremony when you graduate. And so they told us to send in a picture of us when we were younger, send in like a grad picture, and then send in a quote. And so I thought we were going to be hee-hee-ha-haing the whole time. And so I sent in like literally a dumb quote, and I don't remember what it was, but it was something gay, like that it was something gay, and it was something so stupid. And then like when we got there and I was looking at the big screen, I was looking at all the quotes, and they're all just like, for my mom, for my dad, like all the sacrifices, like those were all of the quotes. And I was like, dude, mine says like hee hee ha ha gay, like something like that.
Join the Discord and Natalia will
I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna go through like my Google Forms. I just remember being so embarrassed. I was like, dude, no fucking way. I thought we were all just hee hee ha haing here.
I remember when you're like, should I do it? And I'm like, do it.
Yep.
I encouraged it.
I was staying true to myself, guys. But no, very proud of everybody who put like meaningful quotes and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I need to remember what that was, but it was just like so stupid. But anyway, sorry. Back to Nacho Libre. Impressions after
the rewatch.
Okay. After the rewatch, I feel like I had kind of like kept up more or less with the comedy of Nacho Libre through the memes and like internet culture because it never died out. And on the internet, I feel like
it's always like SpongeBob.
Yeah, like I feel like it became a TikTok audio, like maybe last year or something like that. Around Halloween, it always blows up. Yeah, because people like to dress as Nacho and Sister Encarnacion. And they do they squeeze their butt cheeks on the internet. I mean, like what other movie makes you do that?
Can't think of one.
Squeeze your butt cheeks on the internet. Like that's so iconic. So I had kind of kept up with like the jokes and the humor and stuff like that. So I knew that I would enjoy it during the rewatch. Upon the rewatch, the cinematography, bro, it was so pretty. I was like, what the heck? I was like, the colors were really fun. The framing was really fun. The blocking was really fun.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, like this is very much like, I was telling Milen, I was just like, oh, this is like Wes Anderson could never, like it was so crazy because there was a lot of symmetrical stuff, not the whole thing like Wes Anderson movies, but very symmetrical, and just like the blocking and stuff was really fun, the way that they moved throughout the frame. I was like, this is where
really they were
fun.
placed. Yeah. And I think like we as kids really like this movie for the hee hee ha ha dialogue, but I feel like not subliminally, but like unconsciously we were also like big fans of the cinematography and like the way it looked and all that. I feel like the production design was really good too. Like a lot of the scenes, like a lot of the spaces felt lived in. The set decorations were great. Yeah. Anything else?
Very good.
Comedy.
I feel like the comedy, I feel the script was just so funny. I feel like the whole time I was thinking like what it would look like if I was reading it on the script, and I was like, this is fucking hilarious. And it's like, it's funny on paper, and it was 10 times funnier when you bring funny actors to it, or like people that get those timings down correctly and they play that part very well. So I was just having a ball. I was like, this is so funny. Like, just like, why haven't you gotten baptized? I just never got around to it. Okay. Like, that is so funny.
and we'll talk about the actors and Jack Black specifically a little bit more. But yeah, I think that, the comedic actors are just really great at delivering their lines. And it makes it 10 times funnier. There's the scene where Jack Black is serving all the priests like their sludge. And he just keeps on looking at Encarnacion like he's just like smitten. It's so funny the way he looks at her.
Oh my God, another favorite quote. Do you not realize I've had diarrhea since last Easter? That one is so fucking funny.
I love the way he says Easters.
Did you tell them they were the Lord's children?
Yeah.
Me and my sister say that. Oh my God, so funny. But yeah, I mean,
I have more quotes too, but yeah.
He whips out his phone.
It's because I took other notes, but yeah.
We should make like did you ever see those Just Girly things edits like in 2010s?
With Nacho Libre.
Nacho Libre quotes.
No, they're good.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like maybe we should do that, like a test, like on Instagram, like, was this a Nacho Libre quote or was this like a quote from like a fancy dancy movie?
A fancy. Who said this?
Yeah. I feel like that'd be funny. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think it's still as funny as ever. Some of the edits are very funny too. Like when he slips a toast underneath the door and then they're just like, oh, hi. And then they just cut to them just eating the toast, sitting right across from each other.
And everybody online's like, me and who?
The toast looks so good.
No, the crunching makes it sound. I remember when I was little, craving toast every time that scene came up.
The sound effects too are really good in the movie. Like they're not always realistic, but I feel like it's mixed very well.
Yeah, just this movie was so fucking funny.
Like there's a part where he pounces, where he's all like, "What do you know about this?" And he goes, and like you hear like a cat. I'm just like, that's so funny. I
think, or when he's talking to Sister Encarnacion, he's like, "Let's get down to the nitty gritty," and then there's just a howl in the background. No need for it, but it adds so much.
I love those movies where they can just have fun with it, and they're like, with every little thing in this movie, they're gonna try to have fun with it. Like the sound guy or sound person was gonna have fun with this movie. The cinematographer was gonna have fun with this movie. The editor is gonna have fun with this movie, and like just everybody building on top of it. The director's having a lot of fun with it. The actors are having a lot of fun with it. It's like, it was great. Just building on top of one another.
Yeah. And I mean, on some of the behind the scenes things that I was watching, like they would interview the crew who were all like Mexican crew because they shot it on location in Oaxaca. Like they would talk about how fun it was. Like they were just like, I'm like, the director is very funny. And like, he's just like, everything that he says is like funny and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, that sounds like a blast. Yeah.
There's an interview with Jack Black where he talks about it just having a blast. He said that that the director Jared Hess is one of the funniest guys he's ever met. He's all like, I know directors aren't supposed to do like line readings, which is like when you're giving advice to an actor as a director, you're never supposed to be like, actually say it like this, and then the director says the line like how they want it. Like you should never do that as a director. He's all like, but he was just so good. Like I would always have him say it. He's all like, Jack Black gets a lot of the praise of how he like talks, but in the interview, Jack Black is all like, well, it's actually like I took a lot of inspiration from the director. That's like what he says and like how he talks.
Yeah, I just like the pacing. Like my all-time favorite pacing of his, like line delivery is like, and beneath the man you find his nucleus. Like it's just so stupid, but like the way. It's too good.
Like the emphasis on certain words is just hilarious. But yeah, okay. So we gave this movie its flowers.
Yes.
And we will continue to do so throughout this. But I think there is a big elephant in the room that we should address when talking about Nacho Libre is that it's white people working on this film, which you said the crew was a lot of Mexicans, but like the director is Jared Hess. Like his first movie, Napoleon Dynamite, takes place like in the Midwest. like very white, rural. And then he does this movie. The actor Jack Black, also white, is the main character in this movie. What do we think of that? I know in the movie it doesn't give a cop out, but it's like Jack Black can do this because his mom was Scandinavian or whatever, and his dad was Mexican, and they died, and now he's here. Yeah,
because they did address that in the movie where they ask him like, oh, like they call you Güero out here, and he's just like, yeah, like gives his lore before he became an orphan. And I do feel like that was also one of the things that I had remembered the most before I had rewatched it. Like I remember sitting down and I told me that, and I was like, I'm scared. Like, I don't know if this is going to hold up because of that aspect of like, that Jack Black was.
And that's one of the things I don't remember. I think I've learned that before I rewatched it from that interview where Jack Black was like, before I got that, he came with me with this role and I was just like, not sure because this is like a Mexican, and then he explained like how it would work, and then Jack Black was like, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah, I feel like, because also upon like learning, like reading interviews with what's his name, Jared Hess, and watching interviews with him too, he seemed very, like it seemed like having the rest of the characters be played by Mexican people was really important to him.
I see.
And filming on location in Oaxaca was also very important to him, because one of the interviews asked him like, why didn't you just do it in LA? He was just like, because like I wanted to do it over there, like to help establish the world and stuff like that. For context, it was made in 2006.
Yeah.
So that's like, I mean, we always talk about it, how like now is that where the transition is happening, where like we're taking control of our own stories. But he also, Jared Hess, spoke fluent Spanish with his crew. I saw that in all the behind the scenes video. Like he'd be directing Jack Black, and then like he would like tell the makeup lady like, oh, like, or the costume lady like, oh, ahora es tiempo para el cinturón, and then like they'd bring it in. So like he was able to communicate with them like perfectly. Nice. Like and yeah, he seemed like he really loved Mexican culture, like lucha libre. He seemed like he was a really big fan of it. But yeah, I mean, that's still, you know.
It doesn't sound like he did anything like overly bad. Yeah, I think it's just the fact that he's telling the story that isn't about his own culture, which is fine. I think if you treat it with this amount of respect, the only thing that I'm thinking is like there could have been other people, but he did it in his style, which is like the thing. And I think that the thing that makes this movie so special is that he did it in his style. And if this was done in any other way, I don't think it would have been as big of a movie. Yeah. And just like when talking about Jack Black too, like I can't imagine anyone else.
That's what I was thinking about too. I was just like, this actor Jack Black is so,
it's like built for this role.
Is so physically comedic. Like I literally, maybe at the time could not have seen another person. I think
I can't think of anyone now. But again, that's like discovering talent.
Yeah, discovering.
But again, you wouldn't bring this amount of people without like a star attached to it, quote unquote, to watch it and make it this cult classic. Yeah, Jack Black is incredible in this. You say he's very physical with his comedy, which I agree, but there's something so subtle about his comedy. I feel like Jim Carrey is also very physical, but his is not subtle. Yeah. He's in your face, makes all these faces. Jack Black is so subtle in the way that he delivers his lines and then the way he does stuff.
Yeah, it's just so like it's just all in his eyebrows, really. Like I read that in an interview too, because he hurt his eyebrow making this movie, and he had to get plastic surgery in the middle of it.
I do remember that, yeah.
And that they were very worried because they were like, his eyebrows, like he acts with his eyebrows, like they need to be in tip-top shape. But yes, I mean, that is one thing that I did think about when watching the movie. It was just like, oh man. Like this is a white fool playing a half Mexican fool.
Yeah. But in a perfect world, it would have been done all Latino cast and crew or whatever. But I think for it being done this way, I think it stands the test of time.
Yeah, I feel like there wasn't, at least through my perspective, and if you guys disagree, let me know. But I feel like there was also nothing noticeably harmfully stereotypical.
I did notice something.
Is that an okay thing to say? Or like, is
for
that
the most part,
okay.
I believe. There is a thing, and it might be something small, and I might be triggered liberal here.
Blue-haired liberal. Just kidding. No. We're just kidding.
When we first introduced Esqueleto, someone who has more indigenous features, there is like a lot of growling and like animal noises.
Yeah.
And that was something that I was like, ooh, like squealing, and I was like, I feel like if I was a director, as a person of color, as someone who's Mexican, I'd be like, it's funny, but it might not be perceived, or it's just not funny enough for me to
like make that the part of the joke.
Yes.
You're right. I was thinking about that too, but I forgot to write it down.
Yeah. That was one of the things that I noticed that I was like, I was just trying to go on the lookout, because we were like, does it hold up? And I was like, just trying to see everything. And I was like, that's one of the things where I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's understandable. It was like a joke that probably just shouldn't have been made. But yeah.
You're right. I feel like I would have been more pissed off if Jared Hess included things that were just like surface level Mexican, like if the favorite food was like tacos instead of like elote, because it's just like white people are like tacos and shit like that.
The music was good too.
The music was funny.
Yeah.
Wasn't it Danny Elfman composed?
Was it?
Yeah. That's so funny.
Well, just not the soundtrack, but like also when the musicos come in, they're playing actual Mexican music. Yeah. And I believe in the butt squeeze scene, there's also like another like classic Mexican song playing in the background.
In the iconic butt squeeze scene.
But yeah, are we blinded by nostalgia? Do you think if this came out today, we'd be as big stans?
I feel like if it came out today, I feel like I would definitely be more like, while the promotion was going on before the movie would be released, I'd be like, why are we doing this?
Yes.
Like, I would be like, it's 2024. Like, why are we, letting white people tell the story, and like, or especially more like making it a comedy, or like, and stuff like that. I feel like if I was in a writer's room and a white person pitched this, I would give them the stank eye. I would be like, oh. But I just can't take it. It's so iconic. I don't know.
Yeah, I think if it came out today, I definitely would have a little bit of I don't know how to say it, like not a distaste for it, but like a sour something in my mouth.
Yeah, like I'd be a judgy bitch for sure.
Yeah, but maybe upon watching it, I'd be like, this is actually funny as hell. And I would like change my opinion. But I guess that maybe leads into a different question, which is, should stories only be told by people who identify as this or come from this background? Or do you think that you should be allowed to get inspiration from other places, and as long as you're doing it justice? It's an interesting question. I don't think I have an answer for it. So if you don't have an answer for it either, that's fine.
Yeah. Because I feel like most storytellers that I know are very observant people, and they also absorb a lot of things around them. I feel like, me personally, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that. I feel like it wouldn't be my place if it was like a culturally different world than one that I was used to. If it was just like, oh, let me write a story about a doctor or something like that, like that's a little different, even though like I never grew up around that kind of things.
I have a question. Because the way that this film came about was Jared has heard about the luchador, and he's all like, that sounds like a great idea. I want to I want to write it. Would it be worse if he was to do that and just take the Mexicanness out of it? Well, I guess you can't, because it's like a luchador story, but like, you get me, like you get inspired by something you see, and instead of leaning into that, community or that aspect, that person, you just strip it of that and you put your own stuff into it. What would be worse, you know?
I feel like that would be worse.
Because like I feel like as storytellers, you want to tell stories.
Yeah. I feel like that would be worse then. But I feel like that gets, maybe that might have gotten done a lot. Because I feel like if you don't like cite your source, nobody's gonna know.
Yeah.
They're gonna think that you're just a genius person.
Because I feel like I've had ideas in the past where I'm like, well, maybe that's not my story to tell. But it's my idea.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and then that's just a producer then. Like, because it was a producer who saw the story, not Jared.
I thought it was Jared.
It was a producer saw the story, and then they were like, they thought of Jared, and they like gave it to him.
I see.
Yeah, I feel like doing it with like respect and also being open to collaborate, because especially if you're not knowledgeable about that kind of stuff and you refuse to educate yourself on it by opening it up to like possibly working alongside somebody who is knowledgeable about it and could quite literally only benefit, I think, what the story that you're trying to tell, versus being very much like a control freak and being like mine, and it's just like I feel like that I'd be scared to do that. I feel like
it's not your no, I understand. Me too.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to the fun stuff. Is there any other serious stuff that we should talk about before we go back into the fun stuff?
I think that's basically it. But we are at like an hour. Yeah. Okay.
We'll go through this very fast.
Okay.
I wrote notes while I was watching it, and I feel like I always do is just run through them real quick. First of all, the movie is very stylized. I think we said that already. Jack Black's Spanish is not bad at all.
No, not in the movie.
Yeah.
In the interviews, he does struggle a little bit.
But in the movie, he was pronouncing shit. I was like, damn. Like, it was a little bit of stuff, but like a phrase, but.
Yeah. Okay, Latina. Should we give that one? What is this one?
The laughing. Perfect. Second question. What is his little ride?
His little moto?
Yeah, just the moto. It looks cool. I've never seen anything like that before.
But that's so funny. That's just also just
character quirk. Yeah,
character quirk. So good. The boots.
Yeah.
So fucking funny.
Besides the main cast, there's a lot of beautiful brown skin on screen throughout a lot of the movie. A lot of the extras, almost everywhere you go. Beautiful brown skin on screen.
Yeah.
I already said this. The toast looks delicious. Nitty gritty. The Lord's chips.
The Lord's chips.
Chancho. I need to borrow some sweats. Just going through the greatest hits, guys. One of them that I thought was funny as fuck is when the kids are fighting or wrestling, and then they break them up, and he's all like, they are just niños trying to release their wiggles.
I remember laughing so hard at that. Like, oh, but sister, they were but just niños trying to release their wiggles. Ignacio, they were fighting in a sacred place.
I get to sleep in the bed by myself forever.
It's the best. I love it.
But yeah, that's kind of all I have.
Yeah, I mean, product of his time, I think. Definitely.
Yeah.
But also just so iconic. Too iconic, I think.
I think it definitely did a lot more harm. It definitely did a lot more good than it did harm on a major scale. So I don't think... Oh my God, one of the things I forgot to mention. I learned maybe a couple of months ago that Canelo hates this movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
He did an interview with this... I'm not going to mention them because they are like not a good thing. But they asked him, they're like, have you seen Nacho Libre? And he's like, and he was speaking English. He's like, I fucking hate that movie. And then it was just like, they were like, why? And he's like, oh, because it depicts Mexico as this very like poor old place. He's like, not all of Mexico looks like that. Fair, but a lot of Mexico does look like that, especially this movie took place in the 70s, in the early 70s. So I'm sorry, city boy, that Guadalajara doesn't look like that, but a lot of Mexico does. And not necessarily like poor, but like it's just these little pueblos, you know,
Yeah,
like that's what it's highlighting.
Yeah, because that's what I saw reviews online that said that too. But then they brought back the time that it took place in, and also just like it wasn't like a city part of Mexico.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was a pueblo.
Yeah,
like, yeah, outskirts.
Don't think it was ever
rural.
supposed to be. It definitely had commentary on class in Mexico, but it was never like a city wide. I don't know how to say that. Like city grade,
like an urban story.
Yeah, like an urban story. It was just like little pueblo outside. But that's that's so funny how mad he I mean, fair things to be mad. I thought he was gonna say like it was so stupid. And
No. It's kind of fair, but it's also like if this took place in the city, in the if this took place in a city like that, I don't know if we would see as much brown skin as we did compared to a little pueblo like that.
That's true.
And it would take that element away from it. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm like, don't complain about it, man.
Yeah. I mean, I guess one more thing I would say about that, I guess not about that, but kind of relating to that, is like speaking roles in the film.
Yeah.
Because that was one thing that I noticed too. I was just like, although we do have a lot of the background characters and stuff like that, they don't speak.
They never speak.
Rarely. It's
kind of awkward sometimes.
Yeah.
Like when he goes up to the guys and he like rips the jacket, they just stand there. I'm like, say something, please.
Which I mean,
say
like
something. I'm giving up on you. Anyways.
Which is actually a really big problem in like media is just like Latinos, like they may get casted in a role, but they're not speaking roles. So that was one thing that I did notice too.
Yeah.
It was just like obviously Jack Black got the majority of the lines, but that's because he's the main character. But the other characters, although their screen time was, you know, pretty noticeable, they didn't have speaking roles. But I guess, should we close it out? I have one question, but I don't know if...
You can ask one more question. It's a Nacho Libre episode.
What did you think about the accent?
Whose?
Jack Black's.
Jack Black's?
Yeah.
That's an interesting question.
Yeah.
I'm blinded by nostalgia.
Yeah.
I am. I don't think it's authentic, but it's funny. Does that make sense? I guess that's why maybe I don't have a problem with it, because it doesn't sound like he's actually trying to do the accent. I don't know. What do you think?
I feel
like that's what makes it funny.
Yeah. I feel like if that came out today and he had the accent, I'd be, get that corn out of my face. Like, I would be upset, I think. I would be like, that's... You know, like, why are we still doing accents or something like that? I guess it makes sense for the story. Like, I'll give it that, like, where it takes place, and like everybody else is kind of speaking like that, but everybody else actually speaks like that, like the actors when they speak English. So I guess it would be kind of out of place if he didn't have an accent. That would kind of like take you out of it.
I think the fact that it's a comedy, but I don't know. I feel like when it comes to accents, for me at least, there isn't like a specific rule to follow. I think every case is different.
Yeah.
You know?
Because I guess it'll be like, I'm not saying this is the same thing at all. But like, if like a British actor was playing like a Scottish character, like they would do a Scottish accent.
Or like people playing American, they do American accents all the time.
But I mean, it's not the same at all because of the history of racism in the United States. And
that's what I'm saying. Like accents don't have a certain rule.
Yeah. I feel like we can that could be a whole episode in itself.
Yeah. Because there's also just like Black actors who don't have like an African accent, and they have to learn to do an African accent for films.
Same with Latinos too. Like Rita Moreno.
Yeah.
Doesn't have an accent. Like almost everything that she plays, she has to play up that accent.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's just also the effects of white people being in control.
True.
So I feel like notable thing was the accent.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I can't believe we didn't bring that up. But
yeah,
I don't know. I don't think it would have been as good without his accent. it just had so much because I don't know. For me, it didn't feel like he was trying to actually do the accent, but like make it his own. But I guess that's also kind of problematic.
Yeah. See, we're just like, oh. But I guess that's what this conversation is about, is like pointing things out that maybe we didn't really bat an eye at about when we were little. And
also just have this conversation. Like, I'm not saying that I'm going to believe this forever or that, you know, I just don't have enough information right now to.
Yeah. The
information that I have right now is why I'm giving this opinion. But if I learn more information, I'm willing to change my mind. Yeah. Like,
that's what it is. It's just an opinion that two little silly people on the internet have.
Yeah. So it's like, I would love to hear what you guys have to say if you guys feel strongly about any of this. Be nice about it. But I would just love to hear, because everybody has different ways of thinking about stuff. So
yeah. I guess that's a good place to.
It's a good place, yeah.
To close out that conversation and close out the episode with the Latino artist recommendation.
Yes. Oh my God, that's my turn today.
He's not prepared.
I do have one. I do. My Latino artist recommendation of the week is a band called Ramona. They are from Tijuana, Mexico. It's a Mexican artist, so they don't sing in English, but they do sing in Spanish, and I think it's very good. My brother played them in the car, and I was like, this shit's good as fuck. So they take a lot of influence from soul and Afro-American music, also like rock from Latin American in the 70s, and like all this stuff. They fuse it, and they make it really, really good. So if you guys have time, go ahead and check them out. I think they're really great.
Cool. I like that one. Very good. And with that being said, it is time to say goodbye. Let us know which of the sound effects was your favorite. Should we just play all of them now?
Yeah, let's go ahead and give a departing.
Yes, rank your favorite one. This is my personal favorite one. Was one. And then 2. 3. Hello?
Oh, you have to hold it.
That sounds
Nintendo
like
DS.
I was going to say Windows Startup.
Oh, yeah, that too. 4.
And 4. Which one was your favorite?
Comment down below. Let us know. But yeah, with that, we'll have more sound effects next episode. So that's a fun little thing to add to the podcast. And with that, I think we are good to go. Thank you guys for joining, and I hope that you guys have a great week.
Bye. Join the Discord.
The Hand Me Down podcast is produced and hosted by Natalia Delgado and Alan Gallardo. This episode was edited by Alan Gallardo, and the social media clips are edited by Natalia Delgado. And I'm the associate producer, Milena Ortega. We'll see you next week.